not going for it. So now that we have this key level, we don't just abandon it, we use it. So what are you looking for? It's exactly what Sandeep said, right? We look for buyers and sellers inside of the zone. So I'm not interested in what happens all the way up here. If it's up here, you've already missed the move. You need to look at the zone, because we define the zone based off where we want to trade from. Then it's what to look for and why you look for it. So basically, what happened is, maybe people can take a picture of this. We had aggressive sellers, right? They failed to break below the level, so they failed. We call it an absorption in like technical order flow terms. Failed absorption of sellers, and that means that passive buyers were in control. So all that means is, what passive buyers means is, at this zone we have proved that there were passive buyers. So what passive buyers means is that there were limit orders. There were limit orders resting over here. That's it.
I do have a question, like a sort of a devil's advocate question. So, for example, that individual candle there, where you see aggressive sellers coming in on the footprint chart, you see obviously is the delta negative there?
Absolutely. Look at that. It's huge. It's
Yeah.
hugely negative.
Yeah. The delta is negative. So at that particular point, let's say you can't see anything beyond that. Would your general bias not be, hey, listen, aggressive sellers are now coming in. Let's see if they can drive price down further. Like,
Okay, perfect.
could there,
Perfect. Nice. So, okay. So this is what we look for, right? So, okay, great. So first of all, remember I did have a bullish bias going into the day. The reason why is because of things we went through that had nothing to do with order flow. So remember the stuff we went through at the start, right? So this is why we do things in order. Very important, right? So we've taken out the Asian low. So I call this phase 1 manipulation, which I think some people know what that is. It's basically when we take out one side of the Asian range, it becomes a phase 1 manipulation. If we take out both sides of the Asian range, it becomes a phase 2 manipulation. So now that we've taken out the Asian low, I like that setup. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, if we trade inside of the Asian range, I don't like those days. I like it when it takes out one of these either the Asian high or low. So that's one confirmation. So let's count how many things we had. We took out the Asian low. That's 1, right? We filled the gap. That's 2. We actually took out the previous day low in the process, which is a good sweep. That's 3. We're in discount. That's 4. We're below the daily opening price. That's 5. So do you see how there's 5 confluences that shifted me towards being bullish anyway? Do you see that?
they're just adding up?
Yeah. The only thing we use order flow for is for confirmation. But I'm going to answer your question in more detail because I understand. So now from here we had this was the market opening at it says 2:30 p.m. but this is 9:30 Eastern in the EST. So we saw the first 15 minutes was bearish, but we weren't at the zone. So I'm not interested in trading until we come to the zone. So we tap into the zone at 10:04 or 3 in the UK. So if we continue to move, so what I can see there is this, right? I can see price has now shifted itself above the zone. It's not a solid break because it's not with a body, but I don't look at bodies and wicks too much when it comes to order flow. I'm not interested. I'm interested in what's going on inside of the level. Big difference. The level, not the candles, the level. So what I will do is Sandeep, do you remember that red line I drew yesterday? I think you were here for that.
Yeah, I do.
I'll draw the line like this. I'll say, okay, this is the line. This is like I think you explained it better than me. You called it the accountability line or something like that.
Yeah. So basically, yesterday when you drew the horizontal line, you drew it when you had seen like a full body candle break below. It was a really strong bearish candle, and then you drew it at the very bottom of the wick. This candle here doesn't appear as strong as yesterday's candle, but I mean, if this is what you feel is the line that you are accountable to, where you would go long after a break of that line, then that's fine.
Yeah. It's never gonna look the same every day. Some days are gonna look
No,
better
exactly. No, exactly.
that's just the nature of
Yeah,
it.
I called it an accountability. Basically, you hold yourself accountable, saying, "Hey, listen, if it cannot break this line, I will not go long." It's a great tool.
I personally like it, man. If I say so myself. So, but again, the line itself isn't what I'm super interested in. It's more of this. the order flow. So now I'm going to try and put that to, because I get you're saying, oh, I've seen aggressive sellers.